Rose fam, welcome back to another Vlogmas. I am not sure what day it is, to be honest with you, but it is Vlogmas 2020. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope that everybody's kind of getting a little bit of the holiday spirit despite what's going on. And we have really been trying to put out these videos, and I am just hoping you guys are enjoying them. Anyway, this Vlogmas episode is actually going to be about our home buying experience. I did get a couple requests to share our home buying process with you, so I thought what better time than Vlogmas to do that. So if you are interested in learning more about our home buying process and some tips or tricks that you can use going through yours, then please continue watching. Okay guys, so about our home buying process. My husband and I both didn't know if we wanted to venture into buying another home. We had both owned homes before. So I had a really bad experience with renters in my previous home, and they really tore the house up. So it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. Anyway, we actually wanted to go full-time RVing, which is why we did the RV video. That is still our passion. I will link that video somewhere below so that you can check that out if you have any interest in RVing. Anyway, we thought that we wanted to go full-time RVing. So we had journeyed on that path, and one thing you have to know is in what order things are supposed to be done. So it's kind of a weird situation. Now, if sky's the limit for your income and your debt ratio, then I guess this doesn't apply to you. But for the average person, you need to do things in a certain order. By that, I mean, if you want to buy an RV and you also want to own a home, you got to get the home first and then get the RV. Same thing with the car. We all want a brand new car. I'm not going to say we all, because I don't like car notes. But if you want that brand new car, but you know somewhere down the line in, maybe 2 years, a year or so, you're going to want to buy a home, you're going to definitely buy that home first and then get your car. It's just easier as far as the way debt and debt ratios are concerned. Anyway, so we were renting at the time and got some, I don't know, kind of red flags that maybe our landlords wanted to possibly sell. So we had been in the home, I think like 7 years, like literally wasn't going to buy another home. So we got kind of red flagged, and instability is not the thing. My anxiety is way too high for that. So then we decided we really don't want to buy, so we moved into an apartment. That was, I'm going to say, a blessing and a curse. We went through so much in that apartment that we had neighbors underneath that would blast their music all times of the night. They, we would go the nice route and talk to them, leave notes. It just ended up being a nightmare and really pushed us more towards the home buying process again. We were like, you know what, we're not going to deal with this. We'll just buy a home. So anyway, so we looked all over. I was a realtor at the time. I don't actually actively practice right now. I do more referrals for health reasons. But anyway, we had seen so many houses, gone all across the board, and we settled on this one house in a particular neighborhood that we were absolutely in love with. Well, like anybody else, we had to get our ducks in a row. So we needed to make sure that our credit was where it needed to be to buy a home. Our debt ratio, which meant we need to start paying off some credit cards. The credit cards that we use to get new things for the apartment. because we started off totally fresh there. And hold tight, guys. Let me silence this phone. All right, guys, I'm sorry. You already know the deal with my phone. Anytime I turn on the camera, it rings. Anyway, so where was I saying? Okay, so we ran across this one home and we were going to start the application and building process in December. And because we were actively in process of just making sure that we paid our debt down and our credit was where we needed it to be so we can get the best interest rate. And I'm also a veteran, so we were trying to get all those ducks in a row. And we, just for, I guess, the fun of it, we already found the house. We settled on it. Everything was so pricey. It wasn't the right layout, you know, and then we found this perfect cute, we wanted to, started off wanting a house, and then we didn't want the maintenance of the house, and we went the townhouse route. It was just kind of back and forth. Now, if we found a single family that was just everything we wanted and needed, we'd absolutely go for that, and could afford, by the way. We're not made of money, so we have limits. We don't want to be house poor. So anyway, we found this townhouse, and we were going to, in our minds, we had it mapped out that come that December, we're going to put the application in and start the building process. Well, in September, we were just sitting around and we decided, we don't have anything else to do. We found the house, so we kind of stopped looking at houses, but just for something to do that day, we went and looked at our current place where we bought. We went and looked at a floor plan that my husband found, and we walked in and I was like, absolutely not. I don't like that. And then there was a 3-story, and we both were like, absolutely not. We already gonna struggle with, you know, a 2-story, let alone 3. But they showed us. We were not overly impressed with the first floor. Guys, hold on. Let me drink some wine. Hold on. We were not overly impressed with the first floor plan. So I think the agent saw that, and she's like, but I have one more thing to show you. So she took us next door, and they weren't even modeled. They had stopped modeling this floor plan. We saw it, fell in love. Like, when I tell you, my husband and I both had the same reaction, guys. When you and your spouse, significant other, look at each other and you're on the same page about such a major purchase, that's like a win-win. Anyway, I don't know which way I'm looking, guys. Hopefully I'm looking at the camera. But anyway, so we saw it and we told her, oh, you know what, we love it. We were set on this other home, but we weren't ready to do anything until December. We wanted to pay some credit card balances off and just make sure we were in prime position. Long story short, she said, just go for it. And we prayed on it and we decided, you know what, we're just going to go for it. So anyway, hold on guys, one second. I'm sorry guys, I'm definitely trying to multitask. I'm actually editing another video while I'm doing this one. So anyway, we decided that we would go for it. And the builder that we went with had a program where most builders do that. If you go with their lenders, you get some sort of an incentive or whatever it is that they're offering at the time. So there were 3 lenders. What I would suggest is if you guys go through the home buying process, don't stop with just one lender. Each lender could have different fees, different interest rates. A lot of people don't know that. They are not all the same. So definitely do your homework when you're looking to purchase a home, and also look at a list of their fees and what you're being charged for, how much you're being charged, and things like that. So anyway, Guys, we settled on a lender. It was really difficult. The first lender told us that he could do it. Here's the issue, being transparent. I'm a realtor and I got really, really sick. So I stopped practicing actively, but I was still paying into the MLS, which is the multiple listing service for those who aren't familiar with the acronyms in real estate. So I was still paying my dues, and obviously I had expenses for business cards and just things like that. So they count those as a business loss. So even though I was doing very little, they still considered that a business loss. So with that being said, that is one of my sources of income. So they wanted to count my business loss as a debt. So it would have added up to like $300 or $400 a month, like a car note. Okay. And like I said, we're not trying to be house poor. We had a certain budget that our income would allow us to go up to, and we know that we would be able to afford our mortgage. So first one said he could, but then it was all this, well, we got to do this and we can do that, and we have to add that as a debt. And we're like, okay, well, if I haven't done it in a year, why would you add that as a debt? Anyway, we went through like maybe 2 or 3. Okay, so that's neither here nor there. We found and we decided on one particular lender. Guys, that's when the nightmare began. The actual lender was a gem. She was very sweet and did end up bending over backwards, and for that, I thank her for that, because she really did step up to the plate and do and make up for everything that we had gone through. So some of the things we went through, I'm a very ahead of the game kind of person, so I will keep files and of everything that you need. So, and I was like that as a realtor. When I had someone that wanted to buy a house, I'm going to tell you how many months of pay stubs you need. I'm going to tell you how many bank statements you need, your tax year. I always say, before you step through the door, make sure you have all of those things in order. So of course, I sent all of these things to this particular lender. Oh my goodness. They kept losing our paperwork. And then we went with this particular lender because they were the ones that said, we do not have to count your real estate loss as a debt. You haven't worked it. We have proof that you haven't worked it. You were just paying into the system. We're not going to need to count it. We're like, oh, thank God. It didn't make sense anyway. But it is what it is. People have their rules. So we went with this lender knowing that. So long story short, the paperwork kept getting lost, and our lender went on vacation a couple times. So we would be faced with trying to get paperwork to them, getting it to them. They lose it. Interest rates would change, and we weren't locked in. We were supposed to be locked in, and we don't know if it was that or it was the lack of communication that we weren't locked in. All we know is we weren't locked in. So here we are. We were in an apartment. Our lease was going to be up. So we still had like a month and a half before our house was going to be done, completed construction. So we had to move out. We moved in with our son. And what else? Oh, we didn't stay in our apartment because that was another stress. We were already paying $1,700 a month for our apartment. To go month to month, they wanted $2,400, which is utterly ridiculous for the same space. We're like, we're not doing that. Anyway, it worked out. We stayed with our son. We went ahead and paid his bill. So It was cramped, it was hard, it was rough, but we're a close family and we do what we got to do for each other, and we made it work. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, all of us. Yeah, it was challenging, and we still love each other. So there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Anyway, guys, so in between dealing with all of this, it's just, it was just a lot of back and forth, a lot of, oh, we can't do this, and we were promised certain things, and then the lender was on vacation. Well, we can't do that. And I'm like, yeah, you can. I have it in writing that it was promised to me. Oh, well, we got to see when she gets back. And of course, she would get back and she'd say, yes, I said that. It was just a lot of miscommunication with her staff. More so, I think the one thing that really upset me was, and if they happen to watch right now, they'll know now that this was a situation. One of her workers called me. I forget what happened. Something happened with the paperwork that they did wrong. Oh, the underwriter, they said, messed up our paperwork. So we were pushed back even more. I don't know what they did, but they didn't record something to do with my real estate. And now they're saying they have to add in my losses after they said they didn't, which is the reason why we went with them. There were two that said that they wouldn't, but we went ahead and chose her because we started working with her. You know what I mean? So anyway, one of her assistants said that the underwriter messed up our paperwork and yada yada, and was losing stuff. And this, guys, remember, we're out of our apartment. We're living with our son. We can't stay with our son indefinitely. We're in a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, and 4 people. We were stressed out. It was not a fun time, okay? So on top of that, you're losing our paperwork. Nothing's guaranteed till it's guaranteed, guys. Okay, so until you sign for that house, you haven't gotten that house. Okay, I don't care what anybody says. Until you sign, until you sign and it's recorded, you haven't gotten that house, and they give you those keys. So anyway, so the assistant said that at the same time she was closing on her house, literally she closed, I think, the same day or the day after. So I don't know if her mind was just, on that part of her having to do it. But there were a lot of things that were done wrong. I would send bank statements one way, the way she requested, and then the lender would come back and say, no, I need this. And then I would do it this way. And I would be like, okay, is there anything else you need? 100 trips to the bank, okay? Getting statements, doing everything. And then I would always ask, okay, while I'm here, is there anything else that you need any specific way? No, we're good. Phone call from somebody else. No, you got to go back. So that was a nightmare. So anyway, what happened? So, she said the underwriter had messed up, and she says to me, and I'm not going to say any names, so-and-so, which was the lender, was so upset when I told her what the underwriter did. She lost it. She went this way. She was so angry. She told them this, that, and the other. And I'm thinking, wow, that's right. You know what? That's not acceptable. You don't mess up on somebody's stuff and think that that's okay. Y'all, guess what? I called my lender because I was on top of it. Like, anything you need, you had it before you asked me. Okay? Any phone call that you made to me, I was there, Johnny, on the spot. I mean, if there's anybody that was on top of it, I was there. Whatever you need, however fast you need it. I mean, when they would say, I need something from the bank, I would drop everything, run over and get it. I mean, it was on our end, it was everything we needed to do. So anyway, the funny thing is, after going through all of this, all the lies, I never said that, and I got a lot of those. There were two assistants, and I would say, you said such and such and such, the interest rate is this. Oh, no, I never said that. Oh, you didn't? Well, let me forward you the email where you said that. Lots of that. Oh, I got to check and see if I can no. It's in writing. That's what I want. So anyway, dealt with a lot of that. And what else? So my lender, I called her up. Like I said, she came through. I've got no problems with her. The staff got to get it together, but she totally made up for it. So anyway, I called her up because we had a great talking and communication relationship. Like we really did. If I was upset, I would call her. She's like, I got you. Don't worry about it. Everything is fine. I'm going to fix it. I have got to give her kudos for that because she kept her word. She kept her word. Okay. Unfortunately, it's the village that you have to be able to depend on, not just the one person, because like it says, it takes a village to raise somebody. It takes a village to keep things going and for it to work. Anyway, I called her up and I'm like, you know what? So-and-so said this, so-and-so said that. I'm really upset, blah, blah, blah. She says, what? Okay, I'm going to find out what's going on. Well, she hung the phone up on me. Not on me, but we finished. She hung the phone up. She butt dialed me. Now I'm thinking she called me and she's kind of holding the phone over because it was kind of muffled. I'm thinking because we had just talked and she was supposed to call me back with the answer to whatever it is that I had discussed with her. So it was muffled. So I'm like, okay, did she call me? Because I heard her go directly in the office and say, okay, I spoke to so-and-so, us, and they're saying that so-and-so messed up on the underwriting and they didn't put this in and they didn't put that in and they messed up this and they messed up that. What is this about? Y'all, I heard the girl on the other end say, yeah, I called so-and-so and something must have happened. She's explaining the situation to the lender. If y'all are not following me, I'm trying to look at the camera. So if I'm going this way cross-eyed, follow me on this. She's talking to the lender and explaining the situation. This is the very same lender that she just hung up the phone telling me that was pissed off and gave that person a piece of her mind about what they did with our loan. Is it me? If she gave that person a piece of her mind regarding messing up our loan, why did she just butt dial me and go into the office totally clueless about anything going on? The last thing that you ever want to deal with in such a major purchase in your life is a liar. What was the need in her lying? I was so stressed out. My husband was so stressed out. Now we have two. I don't want to call the other one a liar, but when you said you didn't do something and I had to pull up an email and give it to you, that's kind of lying. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of lying. But so now these are the two people that are working on our loan that we can no longer trust. Too far into the game. Our house is almost done being built. Very scary situation. We had absolutely no problem with the builder. I hear a lot of people have nightmares with the way the house is constructed, people being sloppy, you know, all kinds of things on the builder end, guys. That was the best experience that we had. The office here and the builder. Oh my goodness. From the time we started the process till well after moving in, our builder made sure we were good. He's no longer with the company, and that's very sad, but he went to bigger and better things. You know why? Because he's friggin' awesome. So I'm so happy for him. But this part of it was the most amazing thing. It's what kept us sane. But the lending piece, guys, the day before closing, you're calling and asking me my husband's employment information? Huh? You're asking me for my income information? Didn't underwriting already give you a clear to close, or did they not? Okay. And then at the last minute, guys, oh my God, it's the week we're supposed to close. They come back and say, we're going to have to count your real estate loss as a debt. What? So now we've built our home. We've chosen our whatever we needed upgrade-wise for our home. We're right at the threshold of the debt ratio that we're allowed to be. I mean, like right there at that ratio. You could go over. No, we are right there at that ratio. And now you're saying a week before we close that you're going to have to use my business loss from 2 years ago. Mind you, this wasn't recent. This was a 2-year ago loss. As a debt, which was almost $400 a month, which would totally blow our debt ratio. We are staying with our son. We're essentially asked out because we can't stay with our son in a 1-bedroom. We have put our money down. That's another thing. The VA, I bought my first house on the VA. All of a sudden, my paperwork burned up and they can't find my information. They see that I have a COE on my last home. They gave me the address and the dates, but says, oh, we don't know if we could issue another one because all the paperwork burnt up in a huge fire in Florida, and we don't know what's... Y'all, you talk about a stressful situation. And now you come and say a week before we're closing that you have to use 2-year ago business debt as against our debt ratio, which would totally throw us out. Another $400 debt we could not afford. We would not be able to get our home with another $400 debt because we were right there. So, and also in the beginning, which I forgot, is I'm a realtor. So I had gotten permission already from my broker to be able to use my real estate commission toward my closing. So we get all the way through. Now it took 4.5 months for our house to build. We get all the way through. He already signed off. All the communications was had that she's going to be able to use her full commission toward her closing costs. So guys, I know what my commission was going to be. It was guaranteed because guess what? If I close, I'm guaranteed the money. It ain't going to be a difference if we don't close because I won't need it if we don't close. But if I'm close, I'm guaranteed the money. The same week of closing, they said, oh, no, I think it was even just a few days, 2 or 3 days before closing. Oh, we're only going to be able to use a small percentage of your real estate income toward your closing costs. And then you'll just have to get a check for the rest of it. So you mean to tell me that this was an agreement that we signed for My broker signed and said it was okay. So this last 4.5 months, as my husband and I budgeted, paying off things, getting ourselves in a position, saving X amount of money. Guys, we didn't eat out. We didn't go hang out with any of our friends. We missed the dinners. We missed the goings out. We missed all of that sacrifice for God, what feels like forever, so that we could save up our down payment because we were getting screwed from the VA. And we knew with my commission, we knew exactly how much that was because, again, my broker calculated it, send it forward. This is how much she could use. So based on that, we knew, okay, we had to save now X amount. 2 to 3 days before we close, you're saying that you can't use it? I'm lost. So now we're supposed to come up with, I don't know, another $5,000. Another $5,000 in a couple days. We're not buying $1 million house where we just got that kind of cash laying around. If we had that kind of cash laying around, we wouldn't owe on any credit cards, tried to pay them off, which we did pay them off. So we paid off our credit cards. We saved the money for the little bit that we needed because, mind you, we had commission, we had builder concession, we had all these things in place, on paper. Long story short, guys, they ended up using it. God came through. He showed up and he showed out. He straightened everybody's behind up because I was able to use all of my commission. The lender kicked in what she needed to kick in. That was another thing. Her assistant was trying not to give me what the lender promised. Well, she already did this. No, she did that because y'all messed up. I still want what I was promised before. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But again, she showed up and showed out. She came through on her promises. She paid us what she promised to pay us. I was able to use the real estate commission. Our house is freaking amazing. Our builder is amazing. So it ended up working out in God's favor. And we are so thankful and blessed for that. But y'all, it wasn't easy. So I came on here to share our home buying story with you guys. And again, in my last vlog that I talked about people sharing their stories, it's not to discourage you. It's just so that you're mindful. Now, with me sharing my story, you know what red flags you need to look for. You know that you have to stay on top of your game. You know that if you hand somebody paperwork, you damn sure better have a copy. You know if a promise is made to you, you damn sure better make sure you have it in email or written on a piece of paper. So, because people's memories are a little short. Okay, so that's all it's meant to do. I encourage you, if you want to venture out on that journey, please do so. It's nothing like it. There's some people that choose not to buy. We were one of those, and we were happy. You know, we bought already. We're like, it's not for us. We don't want to do it again. We ended up doing it again, and it's the best thing that we could have done. So with that being said, I hope that you all enjoyed our little home buying story. And if that is something that you choose to do in 2021, do your research. Make sure you have all your ducks in a row. If you're looking to buy, shop lenders, get at least 2 to 3 quotes. Okay, start from now. Saving up your bank statements, your pay stubs, make sure your taxes are in order, your paperwork that you need for taxes. Get everything in a little file folder, or everything's on a computer, but you know computers break down. So Whatever it is, get it all your ducks in a row. Make sure you get your pre-approval so that you know how much you can afford and all of these things in order. What I would always suggest, whether you're looking to buy today or you're looking to buy 6 months from now, contact a lender. Contact a lender. Let them know what your intentions are. You don't have to buy today, but the best thing is, and the best feeling is having an established relationship with a lender who knows your financial portfolio, who knows your work history, who knows you, and can tell you, hey, I need you to get your score up to here, or I need you to pay down on your credit card. A lot of people think you have to have your credit cards totally paid off. You can't have any debt, and that's just not true. It's absolutely not true. That's why you should always speak with a lender, let them assess your financial situation, and let them advise you on where you need to be with certain things. Home ownership is sometimes so much more attainable than people think that it is. Some people got it easy. Some people got money like that. Some people are just, set to go. It's been their lifelong dream. They set themselves up like that. So when it's time to buy a house, they're ready to go. Not everybody's like that. Some people have to work at it, and that's okay. The ultimate goal is your happiness. And if it's home ownership, then that's what you do. You work for it. Anyway, guys, I enjoyed sharing our home process with you. I hope that you guys have learned something. Put it in the comments. Let me know how your journey is, or if you're actually looking to purchase a home. I would love to chat with you guys about it. Until then, I'll talk to you later. Happy Vlogmas, guys.